of a better day and a better gathering, perhaps, to address such a galaxy of brilliance under one roof. The President of the General Assembly, Excellencies, distinguished guests. We in the Sri Lanka Mission are truly proud and honored by your friendship, and thank you for your gracious presence today at our 76th Independence Day celebrations. Permit me to say a special thank you to His Excellency Dennis Francis, PGA, who has been gracious enough to accept my invitation at such short notice, notwithstanding his busy schedule, to be with us on this very auspicious occasion. I must also thank all of your excellencies, my colleagues of the Diplomatic Corps, for the notes of good wishes, and Ambassador Alia of the State of Qatar, who unfortunately is not with us today, for the lovely bouquet of flowers that you see at the entrance to this hall. On this day of our independence, we bestow on each one of you our warm greetings of humanity, of simple humanity, and friendship to our global family, which is represented here by their esteemed ambassadors. Excellencies, permit me to digress to a little bit of history briefly, to tell us how we got this independence, how we treasure this independence. The Ceylon Independence Act, a little piece of legislation, in 1947, was put in place in the British Parliament to make provision for and in connection with the attainment by Ceylon, as Sri Lanka was then, of fully responsible status within the British Commonwealth of Nations on the 10th of December 1947. It was recognized that Ceylon desired complete self-governance. On this day, the Ceylon Independence Bill, as it was then, was passed in the United Kingdom, marking the beginning of the 1947 Constitution, which was Sri Lanka's constitution then. Ceylon officially became an independent country within the British Commonwealth of Nations on the 4th of February 1948. That was just a few days ago. The pioneer of our independent nation was a gentleman by the name of the Honorable D.S. Senanayake, who led the negotiations that resulted in the independence of Sri Lanka in 1948, and his position as the nation's first Prime Minister. 24 years later, Ceylon became the Republic of Sri Lanka in 1972, removing all references to its British colonial name. Excellencies, we have come a long way since then, with a free education system from the kindergarten to a PhD, and a free healthcare system from a simple appendix operation to a heart transplant, and nurtured by successive, and this system has been nurtured by successive governments, resulting in impressive social indicators. We have also overcome numerous challenges, such as a separatist terrorist conflict that we overcame in 2009, as well as, of course, natural disasters due to climate change, such as the 2004 tsunami. We have maintained our democratic traditions with universal adult suffrage since 1931, ensuring the change of governments through a ballot every 5 years. Today, Sri Lanka grapples with new challenges from a difficult global economic order, and it is a struggle to overcome that social disorder. My dear friends, we are conscious of the fact that true independence and true freedom does not flow from political freedom alone. As a country, our future lies in our commitment to achieving long-term goals with firm determination. We have done as we have done in the past. On this National Day, Sri Lanka's celebration of its sovereignty and its independence underscores, I say, the ongoing commitment to strengthen democratic governance and inclusive economic growth and building resilient institutions that deliver for all Sri Lankans. My dear ambassadors, my country is situated at the crossroads of maritime routes, traversing the Indian Ocean, and therefore being the subject of curiosity. An attractive girl on the beach virtually. To many seafarers, Sri Lanka was thus exposed to cultural influences from both the East and the West. We were loved by everyone, so to speak. The ancient Greeks, including Ptolemy, called us Taprobane. Our Arab friends referred to it as Serendib. Later, the European the cartographers and Marco Polo called it Ceylon. The Chinese Buddhist monks called it, surprisingly and ironically, Sinhala. And finally, the English called it Ceylon. And we finally became Sri Lanka in 1972. My dear friends, our president, in an Independence Day message, reminded us that upon the advent of the 76th Independence Day anniversary that we celebrate, we have effectively navigated through many challenges, steering the economy towards stability with the support of yourselves, the global community. The recent recovery was realized progressively owing to the steadfast support of the people of Sri Lanka, who endured hardships in keeping with comprehensive, long-term national building programs. He assured us that throughout that journey, challenges will gradually disappear, as we all want it to disappear. Life's burdens will lighten, the economy will fortify, and Mother Sri Lanka will undergo a renaissance as we journey towards achieving the SDGs. The current growth trajectory has been acknowledged globally, my dear friends, and thanks to your support. My dear friends, I call on you today to appreciate that we celebrate this occasion at a very important juncture of the contemporary political history of our country. It is a time when our government has embarked upon far-reaching reforms that would usher in a new Sri Lanka, in which all Sri Lankans will unite as one nation in a collective endeavor to face the challenges of today. In this day and age, it is not a journey, of course, we realize that we can undertake by ourselves. We need friends like you. It may therefore be opportune that I speak a few words on our relations with the United Nations. The United Nations began its work in Sri Lanka in 1952. And Sri Lanka was admitted as a member of the state of the United Nations on the 14th of December 1955. We continue to play an active part in the deliberations of this august body to which we are accredited. The United Nations, in partnership with the government and the people of Sri Lanka, have continuously worked to ensure that all Sri Lankan people enjoy better living conditions, collectively and through its 23 specialized agencies, funds, programs, and offices across the country. The UN addresses the needs and creates opportunities, including for the disadvantaged, the most vulnerable, and the young. The robust partnership between the global community and Sri Lanka is built upon our shared values, the commitment to democracy, and a collective vision for a free, open, and secure world. Our relationship spans a commitment to the Charter of the United Nations, to world peace, to human rights, to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, mutual and beneficial trade and investment, as well as people-to-people contact. In the coming year, we will further deepen our commitment to a better global order for the elimination of poverty, addressing the climate crisis, for climate justice, a new global financial order, for an acceptable pact for the future. However, the story doesn't end there. Sri Lanka intends to do more. It is part of the ethos of our foreign policy to accommodate the other, to accommodate each one of us as members of the human family, to see ourselves in the diverse circumstances each of us is placed in, and to engage with the international community in greater synergy. As a proactive step towards that endeavor, we have in this process presented Sri Lanka's candidature to the forthcoming ECOSOC elections. Over the years, we have played an active role in the affairs of the United Nations, ranging from our signal contribution to realizing the SDGs, environmental conservation, the cause of women and children, our collaboration with the UNDP, to South-South cooperation, to matters of disarmament in the First Committee, to the human rights treaty bodies, the Special Committee on Israeli Practices in Peace and in Peacekeeping, youth skills, and many other activities. We are therefore confident that we can contribute in a meaningful manner to the principal objective of ECOSOC of promoting sustainable development, to improve the economic and social well-being of people around the world. We would be pleased to ask that Your Excellencies would consider Sri Lanka's candidature favorably. Excellencies and my dear friends, finally, thank you once again for gracing this occasion. Your presence fortifies us, strengthens our resolve and confidence to face the future. We are proud that we have friends in the international community such as yourselves. Be assured that we will respond in a generous measure to our common goals and those of the global community. May I thank you very much and have a great evening, and may I have the honor now to call upon the President of the General Assembly, His Excellency Dennis Francis, to address this gathering. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you. Thank you.